Okay. Speaking of the Carrera GT, our Tug Car segment lead story today is that I am not a Porsche guy.
Please try to justify this.
Okay, all right.
Worked for Porsche.
Yeah, okay. You know what? That's
company cars.
Worked for Porsche. I did work for Porsche years ago. That's the number one thing people use to say that I'm a Porsche guy. Let me tell you something. If you worked there, if you spent any time working there, I'm going to try to be diplomatic here. That wouldn't make you more of a Porsche guy. Let's just put it that way. Let's just make it really clear here. My time at Porsche, when I went in very excited and I left less excited, it certainly didn't make me thrilled to be in the Porsche sphere, if you know what I'm saying. Good luck to all my friends who are still there. It's going great, I bet. Okay, so anyway, working I did work there, and believe it or not, that experience did not take it out of me completely. But most people now say, because I have the Carrera GT, you know, that's only the second Porsche I've ever had. And I went and looked at all the cars
Except
I've
for
had.
all the ones that you had.
I've had two.
Porsche.
Well, I had some company cars, but I crashed most of them.
Hard to argue with that.
I went and looked, and you know what I am actually secretly that no one accuses me of, but they should, is a Mercedes-Benz guy. I've had only two Porsches. I've had 7 Mercedes-Benz. I have 2 Mercedes-Benz right now.
What's your other Porsche?
I've always accused you of being...
I had a 996 turbo years ago for like 6 months.
with bumperettes. I've always accused you of being a Mercedes guy because you've owned one BMW, an E36 M3 sedan, which got totaled or something. Not where you were driving it, but later on. But you've owned a ton of Mercedes-Benz.
I've had 7 Mercedes-Benz. I've had 5 or something E-Class.
You currently own 2 Mercedes-Benz products.
And for some reason, people are like, oh, he's a Porsche guy. I'm not a Porsche guy on so many levels. I don't care about the options. I don't know any of the colors. People are like, oh, is that Miami blue? I'm like, I don't have any clue at all what the colors are. Literally none.
You don't wear a watch.
I'm not into the watch thing. I'm not into the stitching thing. I don't give up. And I hate the 356. And I think that is the number one thing that is clearly...
You agree, though, that you're slowly becoming a Porsche guy as Porsche becomes the enthusiast brand.
I'm not interested in more Porsches, though.
You want a 993.
Well, okay, but I also want a super turbo. Am I a Toyota guy? And the answer is yes, because I've had 4 Toyotas. 4!
How many were Land Cruisers?
2 Land Cruisers, a Sequoia, and a first-gen Prius. Did you have a first-gen Prius?
Sadly,
You had a first-gen Prius?
Yep.
For the
By
record,
the way, I've had 3
would refer
Nissans.
to that
I've
as
had
a second-gen Prius, for the record.
That is a second-gen Prius.
Correct?
The first-gen was Japan only. Not too many people know that. I've had 3 Nissans. I've had more Nissans than Porsche. You want to call me a Nissan guy? Fine, I'll wear it. Dude, Infinity. Oh, I hope you survive. I hope you make it.
What Nissan? You had a Cube.
I had a Cube. I had a Skyline GTR. And I
forgot
had... What else? There was... Oh, the S-Cargo. Boom!
they don't... The S-Cargo counts less than your Porsche corporate cars. I drove the S-Cargo more than you drove the
Oh my God, I loved the S-Car. Are you kidding? It was a snail.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It was a snail and a pun. It was everything.
We used to drive, it was a snail and a pun. We used to drive that around in Philly. People would freak out. It was like driving the Countach, swear to God.
I mean, yeah, that's one thing that Philadelphians would actually be happy to see. They wouldn't want to destroy. Such a cool...
That's true. Anyway, so I'm not a Porsche guy. Okay, I want to set the record on this.
All right, you've set the record.
Do you agree?
You're not a Porsche guy, you're a Mercedes guy. And a Toyota
I don't want to, no, I'm an objective observer of the automotive industry. And I think if you're an objective observer of the automotive industry, you end up buying a bunch of Mercedes because they make really nice
Are you familiar
cars.
with the C300?
Yeah, the C300, they had a stick.
No, current one.
Well, you could shift gears.
Maybe people feel that way because you do have the Carrera GT, but you also recommend Porsches a ton.
Because honestly,
they're great cars.
They're generally speaking, they're like the reason that Porsches are so well recommended by me and so many car reviewers is they do a lot of stuff well.
Yep.
Even though I've only had 2 Porsches and I'm not really interested in more and I don't really like the community, they are the best examples of cars that give daily driving enjoyment and have like fun. Ferraris go way too far on the fun scale. You know, a lot like my AMG Mercedes go too far on the daily driving enjoyment. They're not really that enjoyable to toss around. Porsche uniquely does that well. And you don't have to be a Porsche guy to understand that. You just have to be a car enthusiast, which is why most car enthusiasts end up getting Porsches. But I'm more of a Nissan guy. By the way, I've had 4 Land Rovers.
Wow.
Yikes.
And 2 Fords. I've had the same number of Fords.
Ford GT and a...
I had an Explorer Sport.
Really?
When?
01, buddy. That was the 3rd gen Explorer Sport that didn't have a 4-door version. Except the truck. So the 3rd gen Explorer Sport, there was the 2-door and the truck, but the 4-door got a different body.
Sport Track.
We're going deep into this, the Sport Track. Okay.
Deep into that. I will say that your point is spot on. Like, and I will also note, not the entire Porsche. People that buy Macans don't know about deviated stitching.
Yeah.
So you can be part of that
I will
community.
say,
It's okay.
anyone who knows me, I wouldn't think would say I'm a Porsche person, especially because of some of the way that I talk about some of those folks
I fit
when
in.
the cameras are off.
I fit. Yeah.